Hello and welcome to a Construct 3 tutorial. Today we will be making a typing game inspired by the Google Doodle from Halloween 2020. This tutorial is aimed at programmers with some experience with Construct. Here is a little demo of what the game will look like. You can see that there's enemy with some letters on top of it, and when you strike the key, the enemy takes some damage, and when all the keys go away, the enemy is defeated.
In a new project, we're going to add in a couple of objects. The first object we're going to add in is the keyboard object, so we can detect inputs, and we're going to add in a sprite for our enemy, and we'll rename this one enemy, and we'll fill it in with red as a placeholder for now. And so this enemy needs to have a variable for its health. I'm going to call this one values. I'm going to make it a string, and initially it's going to be ASDF for now. Okay, so let's go over to our event sheet, and now let's think about what we want to happen before we do anything. We want, whenever we strike a letter, if it matches the first letter of our enemy's values, to remove that letter from the value. So we can go to add event, we can go to keyboard, and if we did on key pressed, we'd have to make an event for each letter, right? We can say on key pressed, we can choose the A key, and say if this matches the first letter of our enemy's values, then do so, and so on and so forth. But this would scale really poorly, right? We don't want to be making 26 different events. So instead, what we're going to do is we're going to do on any key pressed, and we're going to add another condition that says in the system, we're going to compare two values. The first value we're going to compare is we're going to say we want the first letter of the enemy string, so we can say left, we can use the function left of enemy.values, and we want the first one, so we're just going to do 1. If it is equal to the keyboard, the last typed key. So now we have our function all set up here, and we can say add action. So we're going to go to our enemy, and we're going to go to set value. We're going to go to value string, and what we want to add in is the rightmost letters. So we can actually, just like we used left for the condition, we can say right enemy dot values, and we want the length of the enemy dot values minus 1. So now we're removing the leftmost letter from it. And for now, we'll just add an event that says if the enemy's values is equal to an empty string, then we've gotten rid of all the letters and we can destroy it. So now let's check this out. Let play, I'll say ASDF, and our enemy has been defeated. Okay, so now though, we can't tell, we don't know what letters we have left, especially if these are going to be random, it's going to be pretty hard to guess it. So we're going to add in a new object, and we're going to go find a text. We're going to add it in, and we're going to call this one enemy text. And so you can see over here that this has a unique ID of 4. So this is important when we're going to have multiple enemies. For now, there's only one enemy and one enemy text, so it's pretty easy for them to know which one's which. We can go to our event sheet, and we can add an event that says on every tick, set the enemy text's set text to enemy.values. So if we hit play, now you can see ASDF, just like that. But this starts to fail if we drag in another enemy with another enemy text here, the construct will be smart enough to know that they're different ones. It would help if I change this one to FDSA. Construct will know that's referring to different ones. You can see ASDF, FDSA, but if I hit the A key, the F gets destroyed. What's happening is that this function over here, or this event, doesn't know which enemy it's referring to, which enemy should be destroyed or shortened. So to fix that, we can add in a loop to go through each enemy. So we go to System, we're going to choose a for each, then we're going to go for the enemy. Now for each enemy, we'll do that. I'm also going to over here, I'm going to add in enemy text. I'm going to go to destroy. But this is also going to create some problems. So now ASDF, and we've destroyed this one. What we want to do is we want to tie the text to the enemy. So what we're going to do is we're going to create a text ID number here. This will be 4, because this unique ID is 4. This unique ID is 6, so this one will be, change this to 6. And so now we're going to say if our value is equal to 0, and we're going to add another condition that says enemy text picked by unique ID, enemy dot text ID. And so we know which enemy we're talking about thanks to this line right here, this condition right here. So now if we do it and hit play, ASDF, and you can see we got the F for this one too, DSA, and we have beaten our game so far. That is probably going to be the end of part 1 of this video. In the next part, we'll talk about creating enemies through it with a function. And so I'll see you next time.